What is going on YouTube? It is Bradley here with the review of the Microtech Amphibian. I did an unboxing of this a while ago, but people really complain. They want to see the review. So I have been waiting a month of carry just to do this review. So it has been a month. I did get this in September 09/23. So yeah, I'll just be going through my impressions after carrying this knife for a month, what I like, what I don't like, and how it stacks up compared against the other RamLoks in the range offered by Microtech. So getting right into it. First thing, the RamLok. The RamLok is awesome in my opinion. I do not like access locks. I don't really like the Benchmades. And particularly for one reason, you can't one-hand operate them. And I know some of you can, but the Benchmades that I have, which are older, one-hand operation, again, using the RamLok with one finger. Pretty easy, and you can do it the other way as well. I love that about the RamLok. Something interesting to note, on the old style RamLok, so you can see here on the bottom, the RamLok's actually a bit bigger. So this is one of the original runs, so it doesn't have the reversible clip on the stitch. But the RamLok has a bit more, or I guess a bit less tolerance. So you can see it kind of moving around in there. And that actually causes the RamLok to kind of move like that. So, you know, doing that with this RamLok is not really possible. You can, but this one you really do have to use two hands to pinch. So just note that about the RamLok. So they are improving. They are, taking notes and seeing what's working and what's not, which is awesome. So again, the newer RamLok style, the smaller one that is on the MSI and the Stitch and the Amphibian, is awesome. It is, one hand opening awesomeness, one hand closing awesomeness. You can still do the normal pinch, just awesome. So my impressions, again, compared to an access lock, I like it a lot. In my opinion, it has a bit more detent, especially on the Amphibian. I don't know if it's been improved on the Stitch and the MSI, which are a bit lighter. You still do have to give it a bit of wrist if you want it to really snap out. But you can just see, just really good. Let me zoom out a bit. But just really, really good. So going over the knife, if you don't know, it has M390 MK, which is Microtech's proprietary blend of, M390, which is just M390 with a, special top hat or fancy top hat, as they like to say on the YouTubes. It's decent. I would say it's a bit on the softer side, but again, I've noticed improvements from this version to, in comparison to the older, or, how can you call them old? They haven't even been out. Has it been a year? What did the dates say? 2023 on there. So I guess it hasn't even been a year, and Microtech is already taking notes, improving the RamLok. And again, anecdotally, from this sample size of two very early knives to one more recent knife, M390 MK seems to be getting heat treated better. I don't know if it's completely random. It's good in the sense that it's rolls rather than chips, which is what I prefer. Yeah, that is what I prefer about the steel. Going into the ergonomics of this blade, they're really good. So you can get a nice reverse grip. You have some jimping back here, so you can get that grip going. Reverse grip, the normal grip there. Pinky can fall there, and the rest of your fingers there. Come up again, fingers fall there. Almost like a trigger finger right there. Falls in nicely. I really like this part of the knife right here. Again, great for when you want to choke up because there really isn't a choil. You could choke up. I wouldn't, because this knife is super sharp out of the box, and if your finger slides, but again, if you are doing detail work, you could totally hold it like there. Pinch grip is great because of this thumb disc ramp pyramid thing they have. Again, you can really pinch that perfectly because of its shape, and you really have good control like that if you want to pinch grip. So that is great. My only complaint, I would say, with the ergonomics in general and the handle is right here. It is quite a bit sharp. I will focus on it. It does get a bit thin. You have jimping. It does come to a bit of a point. So I'll just demonstrate really quickly. Right about here underneath there, you can see it just really does dig into your hand a bit. Not a big deal if you're just using it for everyday EDC and you're not wrenching down on it. But if you are, you know, just wear gloves, not a big deal. Otherwise, one huge improvement, I think, in this knife, and some people I'm sure will not like it, is the clip. So on the Amphibian, you get this awesome, and I believe it is titanium milled clip, which is just, in my opinion, awesome. It is not as deep carry, so I'll compare it to the MSI, which has that more standard deep carry clip. There you go there. About the same profile, just not deep carry, deep carry. This one is very loose. I guess not loose, just light tension. Spring clip. Works really well. I really like this when I have thick pants on, like pockets, pants pockets with thick pants pockets, because it just goes over it easily, and it, you know, it works. So I tend to actually carry this specific to the pants. This one is awesome. Yeah, interestingly enough, this clip just works on everything, and I think it looks better, and it has a little bit of jimping, so you can get a bit of traction as you're pulling it out of your pocket. Very cool. Some other changes, I guess, noting, updated the pivot. Microtech got rid of what was on the original MSI. I've noticed that again on all of the newer knives. Same thing here. Stitch pivot is different, I believe, but again, I think they've all gone towards that direction. What else? I want to talk about this thumb disc. I really, really like it. It works really, really well. I was a bit, you know, curious how much I would like it, but I found that I really like it. If you want to slow roll it, again, you can really just roll your thumb on it nicely without tearing up your thumb. If you want to get like flick it, again, you can just go right for the middle. Again, you can start from the bottom and roll up, or you can just go right in the middle and flick it. It works really well, and it, like I said earlier, with the pinch grip, works so well in the hand, so well. So yeah, I really like that. Curious how, you know, it'll compare over time, because it is screwed in. I had like an old, and people probably won't even know what I'm talking about, but I did have a Microtech whale shark with a thumb, you know, disc, whatever this is called, piece on it, and it did come loose. So I'm curious if this will ever come loose, you know, after, you know, 10 years. So not something to worry about, but if you keep your knives as long as I do, something to think about, I guess. But because I don't know what the heck that screw would be. That's one hell of a dandy. Has a lanyard hole. Not the coolest lanyard hole. I think like a lanyard hole on the Stitch is cooler. But if you are a lanyard person, yeah, you got one. So the next thing I want to talk about is the price. So I paid $300 for this from the MKT Gear site. That is amazing. Like 300 American bones will get you M390 steel, G10 handles, amazing RamLok bearings, titanium clip. Like, holy smokes. Holy smokes. I mean, they're charging more than that for Spyderco's. This is a Microtech, and some people love them, some people hate them. It's still a Microtech. They are, you know, in that whatever class that you want to put them in. They create high-level knives. They create expensive knives, and this is a very reasonable offering for that, you know, less expensive high-end knife tier. Is probably a good way to describe it. So I really like this for the price, hence why I have the whole family here. Again, a knife that I can buy for $300. Again, prices vary depending on your configuration or what have you, but again, for around $300 you're getting M390 steel, you're getting G10 handles, you're getting good RamLok, good clips, and a Microtech, you know, customer service behind it. So to me, it's really good. It's hard to beat. You know, if you want something you can just put in your pocket, know it's gonna work, and just be a good knife, and you don't want to break the bank with a $600, you know, Strider or Chris Reeve, here you go. Here you go, half the price of a Chris Reeve or Strider, and some pretty good performance. Something you can just beat on and use, and, you know, replace when you need to, or send in for warranty. So that is awesome. And on that note, one thing that I found really awesome about all of these knives is out of the box, they came perfect. They came perfectly centered. They came perfectly, you know, locking up, no up and down, no side to side. Still, after a month of use, they came perfect. What more can you ask for? This one took a bit more time to break in. I did have to clean it, but again, super smooth, locking up perfectly, centered, good steel, good materials, $300. Interesting. Buy more of these. So let's do a quick size comparison now. So that's the Amphibian. Should line them up straight, I guess. Boop. Go right to the tip to tip, right? That's what Jim Skelton would say before he got into the knife game. Stop reviewing knives. There you go. Let's get them closer. So as you can see, the Amphibian is pretty big. Blade length pretty close to the MSI, just completely different blade shape. I really do like the blade shape of the MSI. I think it would be cool if they, you know, came out with some other blade styles for the MSI, but in general, really love it. The recurve is interesting. It'll be interesting to sharpen. My plan for sharpening is I'm just gonna send it back to Microtech, have them clean it, have them, you know, sharpen it, and I have 2 other knives to use. So maybe that's the business model, is you know, you buy all 3, and then when one needs to be sharpened, you just send it in, and then bada bing, bada boom. So yeah, in general, which one of these would I pick? It really depends on the day, honestly. I really like the Stitch for its pokiness and awesomeness. It's super thin, comes to a really nice point. It's super smooth, this particular one. And it's just cool. You can't afford, I mean, I can't afford a 10 grand, you know, custom version. So really like this. Definitely get some pocket time. I like this particular one because it's the smooth G10, doesn't have the new clip, reversible clip. It's one of the early ones that has this OG clip. Really like it for that. So quite a lot enjoy carrying this. But honestly, probably the least carried of these 3, interestingly enough. This is probably still the most carried. I just really like the MSI. I love that blade shape, like I said. It's just really good at, you know, utility tasks. and it is quite thick at the tip, so you can do a bit of, you know, not prying but prying, just on whatever you need to pry, you know. It's a nice robust tip, and I've really just, you know, this originally was bronze, but you can kind of see the bronze is only right here now because it's just kind of been washed off with use. But yeah, I really like the MSI. I think it's just a really, really good knife. And then in second, I guess, would be the Amphibian. I really like the recurve. The whole package of this one is just so good, especially with, you know, the updated RamLok, updated clip. If you want to call it updated steel, but I think it's the same. It's just me hallucinating, I'm sure. This one does get a lot of carry, so if I had to grab one, it would probably be this, but I do like to rotate in the MSI. Like I said, specific pants I'm wearing, or if I'm just really beating the shit out of it. And then, you know, fancier occasions, more slicey office box crap, Stitch, and the RamLok Amphibian, just all-rounder. So again, maybe this is the all-round winner. Just a good slicer and still pretty robust. Let's look at that tip. Kind of right in the middle ground. So again, not too thick, not too thin, pretty much perfect. So that is cool. So final thoughts after 1 month of ownership, it's been perfect. I have really no complaints. Nothing has gone wrong on it. No screws have gone loose. I haven't needed to tighten anything. Nothing has gone wrong with it. I've just used it as a knife, and it's performed as a good knife. So that's all you want, really, right? $300, sign me up. So that is my review. Would I recommend it? Most definitely. If you can get your hands on one, I highly recommend it. Definitely check out the new RamLok, because that is awesome that you can, it's hard to do on camera, but I want to do it on camera, but it's so hard to make sure it's in frame. But I highly recommend any of them, any of the new Microtechs. Highly recommend. Amphibian is awesome. MSI is awesome. Stitch is awesome. Buy one. They're a good deal. You won't regret it. At least I don't think you would. You might. You know, don't spend above your means. We're going into a recession. But again, pretty good. If you're like me and you're, you know, spending too much money on Striders, you know, maybe get one of these. And you won't have to spend so much money on Striders. There you go, guys. That is the review. Hopefully not too many of you will complain about this video being too long and me ranting too much. Got a lot of comments on the unboxing. You know, get to talking about the knife. I'm sorry. I like knives. I'm going to talk about knives. That's why I made a YouTube channel talking about knives. But I appreciate every single one of you for watching and listening. Let me know your thoughts. Was this video too long? Was it too short? Should I start a podcast where I rant more? Yeah, I love talking about knives. I love knives. I use knives. Knives. They're awesome. So hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me what you want to see next. Always looking to make new reviews, doing new things. I got 3 knives here. Maybe I, you know, give one away. Is anyone still listening? Maybe I test one of them or do something fun with them. So let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. And for me, have a great weekend if you're watching this when it's uploaded. See you guys. Thank you so much. Bradley out.